In this video, we're going to talk about the American bank crisis. We're also going to go cover a little bit more about inflation, folks. I may have teed off a couple of you folks saying you're not going to get rich off of silver and gold. I still will stand by that. I'm going to show you some proof that it might not happen, folks. Could it happen? Depending how you look at it. We're going to cover that as well in this video. Please like the video. Please share the video. Don't forget about the Pinbacks giveaway. I don't have in front of me today for this video what's going to be in the Pinbacks giveaway. I'll post the link to the giveaway video in the comment section below. So you can watch the video, enter the video. Don't forget, it's going to be this coming up Friday, folks. You got a little bit more time to enter. All entries will stay open until the morning of the 23rd when I shoot the video. I will upload the comments previously to that. And whoever is entered is entered. Anybody else who enters after that gets in right in the last second and you're out. Do it now, folks, so you're not going to be missing out. You must be subscribed as well. Let's just get into the video right now. Look, Bank of America. Most of the people you see in the Bank of America if you're living in the United States. 40% of United States wealth, bank account holders, use Bank of America, folks. Bank of America and all these other banks don't keep all your deposits in their bank. They're buying U.S. treasuries. They're buying U.S. bonds. They're gambling with your money. They're even investing in the stock markets. It's on paper, folks. On paper. They're broke. All right? They don't want to disclose that information. If we all had Bank of America today, we all ran to the bank and grabbed all, there's not enough money out there, folks. They have to pull their bonds. They're going to lose. They don't want to tell you what's going on behind the scenes. We got to keep in mind, the banking system is all intertwined. We see a nice, fine intertwine, all wrapped up because they don't want to see. But at the very bottom of the pack, it's starting to come undone. It's just starting to come undone. Why do you think some of these banks, when you pull out a couple thousand, you hear stories about this. You hear stories. What are you doing with your money? Well, it's none of the bank's business what you're doing with your money. Okay, I can see they're trying to protect maybe the older population. But really, it's none of the bank's business what you're doing with your money. I don't have a problem the bank asking you for your ID to withdraw your funds. But they should not be asking what the heck you're doing with your money. Shouldn't be asking that. You know, they're asking it because they don't really have it, folks. You know, they don't have it. It's invested. They're using your money to invest to make themselves more so-called rich. Banking system's not safe. People think this new Fed coin, Fed token, whatever you want to call it, the gosh darn thing, is actually safe. Look what Lynette Zane put out just the other day. Like her, don't like her, that's fine. She put out, they're going to use fractional system. They're going to eat away at your own wealth, folks. There's other stories out there. And I don't know if this is going to be true. So don't quote me on this. Money goes in, let's say. We're all in a digital system. The money goes in. You have a certain time frame to use it before they start hitting you with a fee. Meaning, your Social Security check goes in. Your work check goes in. And you're trying to save up. We're not going to be able to save, folks. That's the bottom line. We're not going to be able to save. There's stories out there. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Not trying to fearmonger. I mean, you really think we got problems now in this banking system where people can't get access to the money because there's a glitch in this system. You know, what happens if it was a true emergency, folks, where you needed your cash in a flash and the ATM says your funds are not there? I'm just, I'm sure, the power goes out. People say you can't use the power going. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can use the power strategy about going out. They tell us every single time there's a storm coming. They tell people down south with the hurricanes. They tell people up north, get cash for emergency. Get cash for emergency. ATMs will not work during a power outage. Look, if you can go 2 or 3 weeks without having power, no cash, good luck then. I wish you all the best. Because you're going to need something during that 3-week time frame. No matter how well you're prepared for your preps, your food preps, we're all going to need something in that 3 weeks. And maybe your area is still down, but you got to go travel 40 miles before you even get to internet access. That's why I don't like Bitcoin. This is why I don't like these meme coins, these Fed token coins. Folks, it's all about government control at the end. It's all about government control. Watching you. It's happening in China, folks. It's happening in parts of Australia. Look at Salivate Meadows' video he just put out a little while ago. I'm not going to go into that video myself. That's his work. So thank you, Salivate Meadows, for putting that video out. Maybe that will wake up some more people what's really going on behind the scenes. Folks, if the bank asks you what you're going to do with your money, it's none of their business. People like Andy Schectman has talked about this. I've seen this with people come in and says, people are at the shop, folks. People are saying, the bank's asking me what I'm doing with my money, and I tell them it's none of their business to keep it clean. Okay, but you can throw that little bomb word in there if you want to. I'm trying to keep it clean. You think this digital technology is safe? Hackers get into it, folks. Hackers get into it. Yeah, someone wrote me a comment. Well, if the power goes out, you get a hurricane, looters are going to come to your house and steal your silver and gold. Well, not if you take it with you. I did that the last storm. Yes, it was a pain in the butt to move it, but we did it. Okay? I mean, that's a risk there too. Yes, everything has a risk, but silver, gold, platinum have the lowest counterparty risk of it all, folks. Not this Bitcoin, meme coins, this Fed new digital system. It can be hacked. It can be hacked a lot easier. Digits on the screen. What happens if the system crashes? People don't have an answer to that. It may not even be Bank of America going down first. All these banks, again, are intertwined worldwide. And what's coming undone at the bottom, as you can see, they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know it's coming undone. Slowly but surely, it's coming undone, folks. To protect yourselves, get silver, get gold. Throw platinum in the mix if you want to. Okay, throw platinum in the mix if you want to. And what a better place to check out channel sponsor Pinbacks.com. Let them know that I sent you. Guys, I have known these guys well before they sponsored me starting in February of this year. All right, I've known these guys, not personally known them. Talking to him on the phone, emailing Michael back and forth. Keeping me in the loop, keeping you in the loop. You guys know me from another channel. Some of you guys do. But anyways, I've known these guys. I trust these guys. They have most of the time the lowest price. Check them out yourselves. Don't take my word for it. Compare prices. I know that's a big deal with a lot of people is prices. But what you're going to get from Pinbacks also is probably the best price around. I can't guarantee that all the time. You're going to get the best customer service all around from an online bullion dealer experience. Thank you, Pinbacks, for sponsoring Coin Shop Chris. Thank you to the viewers out there, because it's not possible without you. Let me move on. Now, the last couple days I've been saying that you're not going to get rich off of silver and gold. And some people went crazy with that. You know, I don't, if you want to disagree, that's fine. Most of you have been very respectful with this agreements as well. But you got to look at the time frame, okay? Look at the time frame. Someone asked me, if someone started stacking in 1954, saved all the dimes, silver cores, they wouldn't be rich today? Well, you got to count inflation in all that. Have you done well? Yes, you've done well. Okay, you've done well. But what do you consider rich? $1 million? You think $1 million is enough? But I looked up, folks. Let's take a 20-year-old person. I asked AI, how much would that person going to need by retirement age to live the rest of their lives? Now, some people live into the 70s, 80s, 90s. Some people go on to 100 years old plus. So we don't know that. That's not really a good answer. But it said $1 million. Okay, let's assume this person has $1 million today. Or by the time you get to retirement age. That $1 million is going to change. If the dollar don't collapse, folks, that dollar is going to change. We keep seeing prices go up and up and up. So, let me make a point here. You guys know I like my Pepsi. So we're going to use the Pepsi indicator once again. And this is one specific item tested on other items, folks. And here's some proof. This headline or this ad is from CVS. And this actually goes back to July 4th, around that time of 2007. Pepsi, when it was on sale, was 4 for $10. Follow me so far? 4 for $10. Pepsi now. Now, you're not going to be able to see this too well, but maybe you will. Pepsi, when it's on sale, is buy two, get two free. That's at my local grocery store. And it says you save $19.88, so that's 4 for $20. All right, so back in 2007, you would need a $10 bill. Never mind the taxes. Never mind if you have a deposit. I'm talking about the base now. 4 for $10 back in 2007. So you would need a $10 bill. Today, you would need a $20 bill for that same amount of Pepsi. If you put a $10 bill in your safe, where the heck are you going to get that other $10 bill to get the same amount of Pepsi? That's a 50% inflation, folks, over since 2007. Well, you see a bunch of halves on front of in your screen. In 2007, these are all 1964 halves, all 90% silver. In 2007, 2 halves melt for $12.24. So you were able to get, if you went to your coin shop, cashed them in, let's just assume they give you melt value. Let's just assume they did that. You get $12.24 back. So you have $2.24 left over from those 2 halves. Because you needed to turn in 2 to get your Pepsi. Okay? The 4 for $20 deal, 2 halves roughly melt for today $23.37. So now you're left with $3.37. So silver's kept up with inflation. Okay, yes, you gained a little bit more on the backside as well. Okay, are you getting rich? I mean, you're talking about roughly about $1.10 more, $1.08 more difference in cash. Is that really going to make you rich? Now, if you multiply that, how many coins you have, yeah, that's a whole different story. All right, I'm talking about the average person here. I think this makes a good point here. This is just one item, folks, I'm talking about. But it just shows you you might not ever going to get rich from silver and gold. You know, and I hate to bust people's bubbles with that, but there's so much bad information here on YouTube saying you're gonna be super rich. Could it happen? Okay, in dollar terms. But look how much stuff costs from now, from today, from 2007 back to 2000, back to as far as you want to go back to, folks. Again, go back to the Christmas movie, Home Alone. When Kevin Pedola went to the grocery store, cost him less than $20. Those same items that he had in his grocery cart would cost about $85 today, if not closer to 90. And guess what? The orange juice that he bought, it was 64 ounces of orange juice. Now Tropicana, I don't know if he bought Tropicana. Yeah, I think he did buy Tropicana. Tropicana is now down to 59 ounces, so you're even getting less than what Kevin did back in the day. So, I mean, you got to think about all those aspects. The timing of when you want to time it, meaning count inflation in, count of what is happening now, and how many people have really stacked silver back in the 50s, because silver was your money back then. People didn't really have any, I don't want to say any clue about silver. There was not a lot of uses for silver back then. It's coming more and more that we're using silver just about in every single aspects of our lives, and we just don't realize about it. But again, it's about the timing of when you start stacking. How much inflation has gone up? Are you going to get rich? All right, we really don't want to see, again, these super high silver and gold numbers. People say, well, if silver goes to $500 an ounce, people are not going to buy it. Or if silver goes to $50 an ounce, people are going to sell it off. I'm sure people will sell it off at $50. But I'm going to tell you right now, what I'm going to do, I'm not selling at $50. I'm not converting this back into fiat currency unless I absolutely have to. For emergencies, that is what's there. It's there to protect your wealth. It's there to protect your wealth that you already have. It's not about to get rich. You know, and that's going to upset some more people. But if you really get into this market thinking you're going to get super rich off silver or gold, I don't believe it's going to happen. You don't have to agree with me. That's also okay. You don't have to agree with that. But again, how's this new Fed coin going to work? How is this going to integrate? No. How is this Fed coin going to work, folks? No, you want total control? Then trust the Fed coin. Trust the Fed token. You know, that's all I'm going to say about that. You know, use your own best judgment for yourself, for your family. I'm just giving you guys my viewpoints on things. That's what it is. That's all it is. I'm not saying you're not going to get rich. Could it happen? Yeah, it could. But I just don't see it. It's not meant to be to get rich. It's not meant for that. It's meant to protect your wealth. And I know I'm being repetitive when I say that. But I'm trying to help many people to understand what they're up against. You know, if the dollar collapses, folks, or when the dollar collapses, there's going to be panic. There's going to be panic. And for the people who worried about government confiscation with silver and gold, no, I don't think they're going to come knocking on your door. I think the way they're going to do it, they may put an end. Not saying this is going to happen. They may put an end to people buying silver and gold. They let you trade it back into the digital currency. Could that happen too? Unlikely. Very unlikely, because people are still going to need silver and gold. There's always going to be some kind of coinage out there that's never get turned in. We still finding stuff in today's back was made in the early years, folks. No, I don't think that's ever going to happen where the government's going to say you can't buy no more silver and gold. No, but it's people have brought that up. I'm just giving you my personal opinion. I don't think that's going to happen as well. I think the way they're going to get it from you is they're going to raise the prices up so high. People will cash it in. It will get melted down. It will go to the COMEX and used for other things, and we may not never see those bars again. That could happen. Keep everything open. Have an open mind concept, folks. Because we got to be prepared for everything coming down the pipeline. That's what we got to be prepared for. People think I'm doom and gloom. Okay, that's fine. You know, some people think I give the best information around. Some people think I'm crazy. Okay, fine. You know, I'm just giving you guys my thoughts, and that's what all this is. You know, you remember what I do. I work for a coin shop. Okay, you know, I'm seeing different things. I hear a lot of different things. It don't mean every time you hear someone say something is going to come true. Like my $500 silver video. I never claimed silver was, if people actually listened to that video, I never said it was going to $500. I even said in the video, I don't see $500 anytime soon. I was spitting that off on another video I saw. But again, some people choose not to listen to the whole video. They hear a portion of it and they react. Take a step back, folks. Listen to what other people have to say in full. Take a step back. Make your own judgment then. Be open-minded before you react to it. That's all I'm saying. And that's for everybody. You know, do I agree with every YouTuber out there on what he or she says about silver and gold? Heck no. Okay, but I'm not going to go in and blast them off in a comment section and call them crazy or whatnot. You know, you can call me whatever you want. I really could care less, to be honest with you. But, you know, everybody has their different viewpoints. I welcome all viewpoints. Thank you for watching. I'll be back later this afternoon. Please like the video. That will help get the information out, folks. And, you know, if you disagree. That's fine. You know, if we all agreed, the world would be a very boring place to live in. Thanks for watching. CoinShop Chris is out.